They are beginning a journey. Some are nervous, some overwhelmed, but all are ready. Each has been here before. Each walked this place a long time ago. This beach, this village, this country, in a time of war, of youth, and of great pride. This is the story of a group of Métis Nation veterans, accompanied by friends, family, and dignitaries who have come back to France to honor those they left behind, to make sure the Métis who fought for Canada are no longer forgotten.
Today, we honor the memories of these men and women, and we honor our veterans who are with us today. And those back home in Canada, we say thank you.
To be here today and to be among those who fought and survived, it is a feeling I will cherish forever.
One can only imagine the smell, the sounds, the tastes of the battle right here on the beach. You are our heroes. You always will be.
It's November 2009. Métis Nation veterans, their families, Métis youth and dignitaries have traveled to France for a Remembrance Day celebration of a different kind.
We're pleased to have you. Hello, nice to meet you. And you as well?
Yes, this is my uncle.
Oh, very good. Well, we're very pleased to have you. You know, you're the guest of honor.
Yes.
They have come to bear witness to the dedication of a new monument honoring Métis Nation veterans at Canada's Juno Beach Centre in Normandy, France.
But we're honoring all Canadian veterans today, but also paying special tribute to the Métis veterans who had signed up by the thousands during the Great War and the Second War, and many of whom are buried here in France. So this is a great occasion, and it'll be a long overdue memorial that we unveil today, the Red River Cart. And we look forward to doing that later on, and that's going to be a great tribute to the veterans who gave their lives.
In 2005, the Minister of Veterans Affairs for the Métis National Council visited the center at Juno Beach.
As we entered the last, nearly the final day to go to the museum, our veterans, you can see, were looking for their community, their nation, their culture, and to find nothing. I made a promise to them when I got home. I was going to champion this cause, and along with our national president, Clement, and we were going to push this issue and not give up on it, that we would correct the wrongs. And I'm happy to say we got there.
The new monument will remind Canadians of the sacrifices made by Métis Nation veterans who participated in all wars. Métis National Council President Clément Chartier believes the recognition is long overdue.
The Métis Nation has had an ongoing struggle to get recognition for our veterans, and we've been seeking fair and just treatment for our veterans for quite a number of years.
Though it took years of lobbying and fundraising, the entire Métis Nation came together to support the cause.
I think we bought 100 from Manitoba. We did a lot of raising of funds, and we lobbied hard and raised our own money, a lot of fundraisers. And most of the people that came, even though their grandparents had passed on, they came in memory of them. But the veterans that were able to go there, to this day, they still talk about it. The best way, I guess, to describe how this all honors the veterans is the collaboration of everybody coming together, everybody supporting it, everybody wanting to be a part of it, and the instilling of pride in our communities. And when we announced this at our annual assembly, we have 3,000 people at our annual assembly. When we announced it, people lined up by the hundreds and donated $5, $10, $20 to make sure that we sent a message. Some were going to the microphone saying, this $20 was for my grandfather who died and overseas. And no one said, this is for my grandson, this is for my granddaughter, to send a message that they're Métis are going to be out in Juno Beach, and we're going to have our own part of our museum there. So it was a powerful sentiment that resonated not only to the young but also to old.
And so today, because of the efforts of a proud people, Métis Nation veterans are about to be recognized. But it is only in understanding the past from which these great heroes came that the present holds its true meaning. For more than a century, the Métis have played a significant role in their country's history. From the 1869 Métis Red River Resistance to the Northwest Resistance of 1885, from World War I to the Korean War, they signed up to fight. Each and every one a proud warrior, proud of their military record, proud to name their rank, unit, and service.
My name is Joseph Leo Goulet. I served with the Canadian Army Royal Winnipeg Rifles.
I'm Donald Maxwell Fowler, and I serve with the 1st Battalion, Stormont, Dungaston, Glengarry Highlanders of the 9th Canadian Highland Brigade of the 3rd Canadian Assault Division in World War II.
My name is Oscar Lacombe. Infantry, logistics, and I ended up as a Master Warrant Officer in the military police.
The heroes of this story are Métis Nation veterans who long ago decided to leave the fields, farms, and forests of their homeland to fight overseas alongside countless other Canadians. Francis Goodon was among them as they set out for the beaches of Normandy.
They said, "You boys, you're not coming home," so he said, "Just go and do your job and do the best you can. You are all trained, you know your job, so give them hell. To look back, we done something good for our country and other countries."
They were young and scared. Many were taken prisoner, and many died on the beaches. Leo Goulet was captured within days of arriving in France.
We only landed on that D-Day. They had SS troops pulled out from the Russian front, and they were going to push us back into the ocean, I guess. 21st Armored Corps was supposed to be there to relieve us at 2 o'clock or sometime noon that day. But the water was pretty rough at the beach. They couldn't get off. That afternoon, our captain says not to fire anymore, but they kept shooting at us till we were getting down to 0. Finally, he put the white flag up and we surrendered. So it was a prisoner of war then. 1944 was like a dream.
Unfortunately, 1944 wasn't a dream. It was real. Real for those who never came home, and real for those who survived, and now carry those days with them forever, like a nightmare.
Still quite an emotional experience.
I have a bad feeling. I lost a brother-in-law here.
These were just young kids that jumped some walked for miles to volunteer. They were just young kids that went overseas to fight for the freedom of the world. And we look at them today as old people, but they're as elders, but really they were just young boys, and but they were willing to give their lives. And I think we hold them such a great degree of respect.
Like, you'll never fully appreciate the reality of war. Personally, I have a little bit of an understanding. In 1986, I was in the Indian resistance movement in Nicaragua, and we were under attack on 2 occasions by the Air Force of that country. So I had a little bit of a feeling of that, but to actually see these veterans that went through so much more than what I personally experienced, shows that we can't forget.
It's also a spiritual journey for them to go say goodbye to a lot of the people they knew that are buried over there. And I think for the families at home, it was many of our people, they felt it was a spiritual clearing of a lost feeling that they had in their hearts.
But I think the mere fact that they were there to be able to walk on those beaches, to be able to speak to some of the some of the other Métis veterans that were there, to share their experiences, and to know that their legacy is going to live on. I think helps them in feeling good as to what they did, the contribution that they made, feeling that it was very worthy, and that it is appreciated.
And if I had to do it all over again, I sure as hell would. Being in the service and attaining the rank which I did made me capable of being a good Canadian, a good Albertan, a very proud Métis, and I think that makes for an all-around rounded person, personality-wise, one who has contributed to his country, his province, and his people.
And now, these brave Métis Nation war heroes have come back to remember, to pay tribute, and to walk with their brothers once again. After years of tireless campaigning, much anticipation and preparation, the day has finally arrived.
It's a small, but I believe significant step for justice, so much deserved by our Métis veterans.
But I was here along with Clement when we came here to see the ceremony of Juno Beach, and truly we knew and we saw with our own eyes there was a piece of unwritten story, unwritten chapter yet to be done for Juno Beach, and that was the Métis people.
The celebrations and speeches, the honors and the music are all to commemorate the contribution of the Métis Nation veteran.
Welcome to the Juno Beach Center for this ceremony in the memory of the Canadian soldiers of the First and Second World Wars.
To be here today at this wonderful memorial at the beaches of Normandy, where so many of our fathers, grandfathers, uncles, and cousins fought and died, and to be among those who fought and survived, it is a feeling I will cherish forever.
The exhibit captures for future generations the memory of our people who fought in the world wars. Our people of the Métis Nation, who like other Canadians were prepared to give up everything to end the tyranny in Europe. In your darkest hours, the people of the Métis Nation answered the call to battle. We answered the call of France and other European powers, and we answered by thousands. Today, we honor the memories of these men and women, and we honor our veterans who are with us today. We say thank you.
Commemorating the achievements of the Métis veterans is something we should all be committed to today, tomorrow, forever.
There was a lot of nervousness on our part too, because we wanted to make sure it was done so well. It was quite energetic. It was a lot of synergy amongst all of us. But at the end of the day, it was just a great sense of pride. You could just feel it.
Oh, that was really exciting. I was enthralled with what was done by the Métis Nation Council. It was an impression that it'll take a long time to forget any of it.
What you're about to open here, of course, is something very important to us, and you will see inside the Red River cart, which is very symbolic of our people. A lot of, in fact, the work done from there comes directly from the Red River, and you'll see that in fact, these Red River carts, you could hear, there were thousands of them that would travel when the Métis were out buffalo hunting and trading. And you'll see the Métis flag, the blue infinity flag, and you'll also find the fiddle, you'll find the sash. The sash is very symbolic. You'll see people wearing sashes. The sash tells a story sometimes of the family, tells a story of our culture, our history. So we're going to have both the President and the minister officially open the Métis component of the Juno Beach Center.
Gonna do it? We did it.
Congratulations.
You can feel the enthusiasm of the veterans that they're about to go in and find that their culture and their message that they were here is going to be finally displayed. And it was in chatting with some of them, it was like little kids all happy they're going to see something. They're just quite excited about it. And when we cut the ribbon and went in, it was just to see the twinkle in their eye, the bright pride in the chest coming out. Now I'm here. Now my message is here to stay. I'm here. I'm telling the world I was here.
The Red River Cart is an icon of the Métis Nation, symbolizing the strength and determination of a people. It is the centerpiece of the Métis Nation Veterans Memorial, an exhibit rich with artifacts and history.
Visitors come in there, thousands of visitors go through this museum. When they go there, they can ask the question like, why is this there? And there's little historical vignettes that at least give a description of what we are and who we are as a people. I think this commemoration in Juno Beach gave them a sense of hope that this unfinished business will one day be resolved, and that their Métis governments are fighting for them, and they're going to continue to fight for them, and that they believe that at least there's a hope that respect is being given to them finally.
As their journey comes to an end, those who attended the Métis Nation Veterans Commemoration take the opportunity to step back in time, visiting the places and the people they helped liberate years ago.
And I know the community people from the village that were there, were very appreciative, and there was a lot of affinity between their feelings towards the liberation and the people that contributed to it, and their current life. It was very evident.
Such respect we got from the people from Europe. It was phenomenal.
Je suis très surpris et puis heureux de revoir les vétérans ici qui ont défendu parce que.
He said that he's very happy and honored to see you guys here, that veterans that helped liberate down here.
Over there, they were the role models. They were the movie stars. They were people that just would stop and acknowledge them.
He's thanking you for everything you've done for the village.
This is their journey, and for some, it is shared with family, loved ones who also made sacrifices and share the painful memories of the past. Only this time, they are together, not separated by war. As the veterans' journey ends, a new one begins for the youth who accompanied them. They will carry the torch of remembrance when the veterans no longer can.
And I think when they were there, it had a greater impact. But now that they're no longer there, I think we need to do more to ensure that youth don't forget, the great sacrifices that were made.
If there's any message I would give is be the young people. We have Veterans Day in Canada, and if it's possible for them just to take 10 minutes of their time or half an hour of their time, just to go out, even to a gravesite, or just to go see one of the veterans who are still living and say thank you. And I think if our young generation can just show that sense of pride that Europe shows to our country, veterans would leave us with a smile on their face.
They shall not grow old as we are left to grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor shall it condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember.
As Canadians, as Métis, as individuals, and as a nation, we have chosen to remember. The Métis Nation Veterans Memorial stands forever as a symbol of pride, steeped in a valiant past, and yet full of hope for the future. It is a symbol of remembrance, of the stories, the faces, and the sacrifices made. It is a symbol of ideals, of bravery, honor, and respect for all peoples. But the journey is not over. There is more to be done.
When our veterans went to war to defend our country and defend the world, they came home to find out that there were supposed to be packages available for them when they got home, and they found out there was none left for them. You know, just imagine that what they endured and what they had to see, and then they had to live with it after. And they come home, there was nothing there to help them. There was nobody to help them with the psychological problems or any of the challenges they were facing. They were just on their own and said, thank you very much, see you around.
Even though they may not be recognized or compensated by Canada itself for whatever reason, they know that what they did wasn't in vain, that they actually helped, the world.
My ideal is that this country would come and say to the Métis veterans, we've looked at the past and we know we've done you wrong. And we want to say we're sorry on behalf of every Canadian. And I think the world will be a finer place and the Métis Nation will smile.